Their Big Man on Campus NFL preview video. This is the Week 7 preview. It is Sunday, October 20th, 2019. Hope you're having a great morning so far. I got my breakfast in me. I got my coffee in me. I got everything in me. It's time to hit this NFL card and try to find some winners as we head into yet another week of NFL picks. We did college yesterday. What a great day for me it was in college yesterday. I was very happy. The show did really well. I went over every game. I got to go back and look through, but I felt like I did really good yesterday, breaking all those games down. We'll see if we can have it happen again today. We'll hit every game here, get you updated on the injury news, all sorts of spots here today where we can find some money-making spots. We'll hit every game. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Shout out to everyone checking out the show. If you're on Twitter, do me a favor, retweet it, get it out there. Look, we all know this is the best NFL show on the market. It just is. We're giving you the best info. We're giving you the best spots, and we are winning. So make sure you're supporting the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. Let's hit every game. Let's see where the action lies today in the NFL. Josh, Dalton, Bully, Crypto, Matt, Brad, Comic Ricky, B, Bully, everybody in here. Already some people in the chat. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for the support. This is where you find all the great sports betting info. Let's get into the card here. We're going to start rotation number. That's what we do here. So if you're following along at home, we're hitting every game. It's rotation number. That's how we start this whole thing we like to call Sunday sports betting card. And we're going to start up at MetLife Stadium, 451, 452. Giants hosting Arizona. Giants currently a 3.5-point favorite. Total is 50. Now, look, injury news, let's get that out of the way. Evan Engram, in. Saquon Barkley, in. That's what is making this line go up. Saquon Barkley is active. And look, the public loves the Giants here. Okay, if you're betting this game, you're watching this game, this number's continued to go up all week. But I get some question marks about the Giants. Look, I know they're going to move the football. If you know anything about the Arizona Cardinals, they're not a good defensive team. They're on the road here. It's an early start. You look at how bad the Cardinals have been really against tight ends and against running backs. It has not been a good go of it. And I know they get Patrick Peterson back today, but again, he could shut down receivers. He's not going to deal with running backs and tight ends. You look at on the season, I mean, this team is getting destroyed by opponent tight ends. Arizona is dead last in the NFL against opposing tight ends. You look at some of the big games. Austin Hooper had a huge game last week. Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson, Will Dissly, Greg Olsen. I mean, they've gotten destroyed against tight ends. Evan Engram today, not a good matchup for Cardinals linebackers. And again, Barkley back adds another dimension. So I get where the money and where the love for the Giants comes. They're at home. The quarterback should have a big game. This is not a good football team, Arizona. But I also look at it and I say to myself, well, okay, I think Arizona can score as well. I mean, this is a good offense. They're fast. We know they're going to throw a ton. That's what Cliff Kingsbury's system is really based on. We know we can get Kyler out there running. This is not a good defense. We know the Giants can't defend anybody. They're one of the worst passing defenses in the NFL. You're going to have the pace there in this game. So I'm looking at this total and saying, why screw around with the side? Okay, because again, even though you might like the Giants, keep in mind, Arizona 4-1 this year as an underdog. 4-1 against the spread. That's really good stuff in the first year for Cliff Kingsbury. I look at this game. I think it's a high-scoring one. Obviously, we're not getting the best number here. Still fair, though. I mean, I see both these teams getting into the mid-high 20s. I think the game's going to be there where this game's going to open up. A lot of opportunities, a lot of playmakers on the field. I think the game goes over the posted total. That'd be the play if I was betting this game, what I would look at. Again, I'm going to give you a pick for every game. That's what I would look at here. The side's tough. You're not getting a good number now with the Giants. If you like the Giants, you should have foreshadowed and got the number earlier. It's just a bad number now. You're off that 3. You got to lay 3.5. You basically have to win by a touchdown now. And again, Arizona's been good as an underdog. So I'm not running to back a side here. If I had to play this with the pace these two teams play with, I'm going to look over the posted total at 50.5. You look at from a plays per game perspective, Arizona fourth in the NFL. Giants not as fast, but we know with Barkley back and with the playmakers, that should speed them up a little bit. So for me, I'm going to go, if I had to play this game, I'd go over the posted total. Side is very tough. Thanks all of you for listening. It is raining. Okay. Again, I mean, listen, it was pouring yesterday in some of them college games. And look, these are NFL players. Rain's not that big a deal. It's the wind that's more important to me. Let's keep it moving here. We'll go to the next game. Houston headed on the road to take on Indianapolis. Colts laying 1.5, total 46.5. This is a really interesting game. Obviously, it's a divisional game. You have the Colts coming off a bye. You have the Colts who continue to be pretty beat up. Malik Hooker not going to play today. Kenny Moore not going to play today in that secondary. You do, though, get Pierre Desir back and Darius Leonard, two big gets back. But listen, the truth of the matter is this Indianapolis Colts team is not good against the run. And that's something where if you're the Texans, this has been a nice compliment to a pretty good passing offense. You let Deshaun Watson do his thing, but these two running backs have been really good on the ground. You look at on the season, 5 yards a carry. They don't have the glitziest names back there in Hyde and Duke Johnson, but they're getting the job done. And this is a Colts team that is not a good run defense, one of the worst in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus. I think they're going to have a lot of trouble here containing this run offense. And what does the run do, people? It opens up the pass, and you have three of the better receivers in the league right now as a whole going up against guys that probably shouldn't be on the field. Malik Hooker's a big loss. Add in the fact your best corner's out as well. That's a big loss. It really is. And I look at the Colts here. I know they're at home. I know they're off a bye, but they've really been a run-first team. I mean, Jacoby Brissett's really been more of a game manager, which obviously doesn't help guys like T.Y. Hilton and players like that. They kind of want to establish the run here, and the Texans have done a pretty nice job defensively. They're starting to get a pass rush again. It's not going to be easy in this game because we know the Colts have a great offensive line, but I look at this game, and I also look at the fact that you look at Deshaun Watson in his career. He has been tremendous as an underdog and on the road. You look at on the road, 14 games for Deshaun Watson in his career. Look, he hasn't played a ton of games, but the sample size is starting to get there. His passing yards are up. His rushing yards are up. He's moving the football on the road, and he has been terrific as an underdog. You look at in his career as a dog, 9-3 against the spread. Those are glistening numbers. He's even better as a road dog at 8-2. So he is getting the chicken as a dog. They are good on the road. Listen, the only thing that I worry about here is the elephant in the room, Bill O'Brien. This is arguably the best coach in the league against the worst coach in the league. So that can hurt you. Again, though, I think some of the particulars on the field, I like the Texans. They're playing well. They're getting points here. I get the Colts are off a bye-in at home, but Deshaun Watson, I'm really not looking to step in front of right now. And with some key injuries in the secondary, I like the Texans here. I also think this game goes over. I think the total is kind of low, frankly. I thought it'd be a bit higher, maybe closer to 50 as opposed to closer to 45. Maybe a 48.5, 49.5. Look, Deshaun's going to move the ball. Colts, though, you worry. Do they get too bogged down in the run game where they're struggling to move the ball down the field? That's not a particular spot I want Jacoby Brissett in, where he has to bomb down the field. For me, this kind of seems like a 27-24 type of game. I think it gets to like a 50-ish. So I think there's value on the over. You're going to have limited. You're not going to have any weather conditions here, obviously in the dome. So if I had to play this one, I would look towards the dog and I would look towards the over. Next one, 455, 456. Miami headed on the road to take on Buffalo. Buffalo 17-point favorites. Total 42.5. Look, we know what we're getting with Miami, the worst team in the league, arguably the worst team in some time in the league. It's funny because we get these situations with some of the really good defense in the NFL. We had it a couple weeks ago with the Raiders against the Bears. You ask yourself, how do they score? Redskins, first week against Eagles. How do they score? And those teams have found ways to score. Problem here is, though, you got a road team with a team that just can't throw the ball. I mean, I think the Dolphins have the lowest completion percentage in the NFL. How do they move the ball here? I mean, maybe I'm just, again, trying to kind of, gloss over it, but I don't really see it. I mean, they don't run the ball particularly well. Their pass offense is horrible. I'm going to be rudimentary here, but I have to be. I just do. How many times have we seen the Dolphins answer the call this year? Where they are, backs against the wall, they're going to play well. They come out and don't do anything. I mean, they've had their backs against the wall. They've had spots where they should show up as a club, and they're not showing up. I mean, keep in mind, this team has only eclipsed 10 points once this year, and that was last week against the lowly Redskins, which, by the way, they barely were able to do. They needed to the last play of the game to get to that 16 points. Listen, I'm not going to make this difficult. This one's going to be simple to me. I think Buffalo is one of the best defenses in the NFL. It's a road game for Miami with a bad quarterback with no weapons. I don't care. I'm going under 10.5 team total, under Miami Dolphins team total 10.5. Look, if they score 15, I'll salute. Good for you. I don't see it here. This is arguably the toughest defense they've played and are going to play this year. So, listen, if they score 13, it is what it is, as they say. I don't see it. I don't think it's going to happen. I'll go under 10.5 on a team total for the Miami Dolphins. I'm not going to complicate things here, people. I'm just not going to. A couple of comments here. I'm taking 17 points in an NFL game. Okay. I mean, again, I get your reasoning there, but that has not really made a lot of sense when backing the Miami Dolphins. They've been a gutted fucking team. It's that simple. I will agree, though, for whatever reason, the Bills, I mean, they don't put up 30 points a game. They're not that kind of offense. And you look at some of the underwhelming games that they've played against some of the bad teams. I mean, struggled against the Jets. I mean, they didn't blow out the Giants. They, close against the Bengals. Titans, they weren't able to do a ton against. You look at 6 of Allen's 9 career starts have been decided by 1 score or less, and 2 are only by 17 plus. So I get it. But you're just going to have to hope that I mean, let me ask you. I mean, if the Bills score 21, 24 here, which is likely, I think they can do that. I mean, I guess I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you because I'm hoping that, they shut them out or give up 7 or something. But yeah, I mean, the numbers are going to be tough to kind of understand. I guess you're just hoping this is 31-6 or something. But I've learned with the Dolphins, they kind of defy logic. It really hasn't mattered. Thanks for watching. All in. Josh, Devin, Mike, Shelby, Fat Fist, what's happening? Thanks for checking out the show, man. Appreciate it. Yergs, my man. Yergs, great commenter. And hey, Yergs, shout out to me on some of them plays yesterday on the track. I'm starting to get the hang of that whole horse racing thing, people. Yergs asked me for a winner. I gave him a winner at, where was that? Belmont. Yep. Easy, keezy, peasy, lemon peasy. Lopez, Ace Boogie. What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out the show. If you're new in here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I appreciate all of you. All right, let's keep it going. So, yeah, if you missed that one, Miami, team total under 10.5. Those one of those plays where I'm just going to make them. The only way that game goes over is if Miami has one of those freak plays, the punt return or kick return or something like that. Minnesota against Detroit. Minnesota 2.5, total 43.5. It's been a tough season for the Detroit Lions, and I'm not saying they've been bad. I've been a big fan of this Lion team. I've really loved the grit they play with. I'm really starting to find and believe in Matt Patricia as a coach. It took me a while, but I'm starting to get there. But you look at some of these losses. They have been really tough. The last two games, Chiefs, you could argue officials pulled it out of their mouths in that game. You look at last week, we all know that the Lions should have won that game, or it shouldn't have went how it did. It's pretty irritating. But here's the thing. You get right back at it. This is a divisional game. You're at home. You've got a team that has not been good on the road. It's time to pin your ears back for Detroit and stop feeling sorry for yourself. It's time to go out and get the job done. I've talked about time and time again that I have no interest in the Vikings on the road. They're just not good on the road. Last 3 seasons, 8-10 against the spread, and they're just 9-9 straight up. They're not great on the road. You look at in 2 games on the road this year, okay? I want to tell you about these 2 games. Minnesota has played 4 home games and 2 road games. 3 road games. They went to Green Bay and lost 21-16. They went to Chicago and lost 16-6. And then they went and beat the Giants. Who cares? But against 2 competent opponents, they struggled considerably, particularly this offense. And we have to ask ourselves, at what point does Kirk Cousins fuck this up? Because you and I both know that he will. He is not a consistent quarterback. He never has been. He never will be. And it's not going to be as easy sledding against this Detroit defense as it has been the last 2 weeks. You look at the last 2 weeks, you put up 28 and 38. You throw for 279 and 325. I'm going to almost tell you right now, I don't know that will happen today. They need Slay back. They need to be fully healthy. The pass rush is going to be good with Trey Flowers and those guys up front. Look, the truth of the matter is, when I can get Detroit as an underdog, I'm going to look to get it. This is a big game for them. Minnesota's not been great in the division so far. It's time for Detroit to stop feeling sorry for themselves, go out and get the job done here. Because at some point, Detroit's got to play better. Detroit's got to be better in the red zone. And that's one thing if I'm Detroit. The problem is they haven't ran the ball particularly well. And their play calling hasn't been good in the red zone. I mean, it just hasn't. And it's kind of been disappointing that they haven't found ways to score in the red zone. It's been irritating. I mean, and you can say, well, the refs took it from us last week or whatever, but here's the truth of the matter, guys. On the season, Detroit, 22nd in the NFL in red zone TD percentage. They're only getting a touchdown about 50% of the time. And to put that into perspective, the best team in the red zone in the NFL from a TD perspective, this is teams that go into the red zone and score a touchdown. No field goals, touchdowns. The 2 best teams in the NFL in that metric, Houston and Buffalo. Houston scoring a touchdown on almost 71.5% of their possessions in the red zone. So you look at how poor Detroit has been. It's been hard to watch, frankly. Minnesota, they're up at 63%, so they're much better. Detroit has to find ways to get touchdowns in a red zone, not field goals. Because you're not going to win games kicking field goals. We know that. Still, though, I believe in Detroit. Until they don't give me reason to believe, I'm going to play them. Yes, Slay is in, as far as I know. Cousins sucks. I wouldn't say he sucks, but he's definitely not a guy that I trust either. So, yeah, I'm going to lean here with Detroit in this game if I had to play it. Dat Fire TV. Thanks for checking out the show. Blake Walters, Ralph Jefferson, Rob Taz, all you guys. Paul Ramirez, Burst One, Emza, Mike Maya. Thank you all. You guys are very kind. Thank you for checking out the show. We're only 2 weeks in to this NFL show on my own, and we're doing what we got to do. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. I'm off another good college week. I'm really starting to figure it out, I feel like. Not that I needed time to figure it out, but I'm starting to do my thing. College, I'm really starting to see the board well. It's been a fun season so far. On the plus side, doing a great job. NFL's been good, so I'm really enjoying it. Let's get back to the card here. We keep it moving. Oakland headed down to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Packers only have 5, total 47.5. Here's one thing I'm going to say about these two teams. Doesn't it seem like the Packers play every game at home? Someone's got to check that schedule. They're at home every week. And Oakland, Doesn't seem like they play any games at home. They're always on the road. But yeah, that's just kind of my observations. Green Bay laying 5, total 47.5. Another team that is a totally different team home away. Green Bay is much better at home than they are on the road. Green Bay going to get back Geronimo Allison and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. If you're Green Bay, you got to look at yourself and say, you know what? Let's keep it moving here. We got a big win last week, a game we probably didn't deserve. But it's kind of like when you grab a girl that you don't think you should get and you grab her and she's into you. You kind of just like, you know what? Let's just keep doing what we got to do here. Eventually, maybe this won't last forever, but hey, for tonight, she likes me. Let's keep rocking with it. That's what the Packers are right now. They're not a great offense. They don't have their best player. Defensively, they can't stop the run, and they struggle on that side of the ball. But they're finding ways to win games. Shut up and just keep winning. That's all that matters. Last week, hey, we're just going to run off the field. That stinks, but hey, we got the job done here. So, yeah. As far as then today, though, I got to tell you, I was pretty impressed last week with the Packers on the ground. They did a pretty nice job. Question I have, though, is that just the fact that Detroit can't run the ball, or is it the fact that, they're getting better against the run? They're going to be tested today because this Oakland team is really good on the offensive line. I have one of the better, surprisingly, offensive lines in the league as we speak. And Josh Jacobs has been a playmaker. It's just that simple. Almost 5 yards to carry. He should be able to move the ball. We know what this offense is. It's pretty simple. The concern you have today, though, is it a lot like last week for Green Bay's defense? If I'm Green Bay, I'm just stacking a box. I think their corners are good enough one-on-one to play against Derek Carr. I'm not worried about Derek Carr. I don't worry about him beating me down the field. And I think also the fact, keep in mind that this is a road game for the Raiders, always tough in Lambeau. And you look at the home splits for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's been terrific at home. He's just good there. I don't know how else to say it. This isn't an away game. We don't have to worry about it. So for me, I think the game plan is pretty simple for Green Bay today. Stack the box, make Derek Carr beat you deep. I don't think he can do that. And I trust their corners deep. I just do. So I have a hard time getting involved with Oakland in this game. If I had to bet it, I'd probably lay the number here, especially with MVS and Geronimo Allison back. All right, let's keep going here. This is a tough one to talk about. Bengals and the Jags. Jags laying 4.5, total 44. Another game where Gardner Minshew, you wonder, is the luster starting to fall off a little bit? I don't know, but I think for Gardner, it's just about continuing to do all you can. The kid is a good player. He tries hard. He's got a good arm. He's tough. He's physical. And I think you just ride the hot hand here. He's going to take lumps. No one expected him. Listen, if you know anything about Gardner Minshew shouldn't even be in the NFL. If not for certain things that have happened in his life, who the hell knows where Gardner Minshew is? It's really amazing where he is. And I'll tell you right now, if you're not doing something you don't like and you want to go do something else, go fucking do it. Gardner Minshew's a prime example of someone that I'm sure most of his life was told he wasn't good enough. This guy was at community college, a junior college, goes to East Carolina, basically was told by Scotty Montgomery, you're not good enough to be our starting quarterback. We'd rather have Thomas Circa on the offense. Kid leaves. Unfortunately, Tyler Horinsky tragically kills himself. Gardner Minshew's contacted by Mike Leach. He goes to Washington State, has an unbelievable season, and is drafted. Nick Foles weirdly goes down. He comes in and plays terrific. It's really fate for Gardner Minshew. Amazing. What a life. But hey, sometimes, like we said earlier, sometimes you just got to say, you know what? Maybe I am pretty good at what I do. And here he is. Listen, if I'm them today, you got to lean on your boy Leonard Fournette. This Bengals defense blows. It's that simple. They can't tackle. They have some of the worst linebackers in the NFL. This team is giving up almost 200 yards a game against the run. Keep it simple. Let Gardner manage the game, run the football. This team can't stop anybody. I hate to be rudimentary and I hate to be basic in a game like this because I'm going to tell you right now, usually I look to back toothless teams like this at home. But I got to tell you, I don't really know that I see it in this game. The Bengals have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. They have very limited playmakers. And you got to ask yourself, are the Jags just happy and say, you know what? We got that negative energy out of the locker room. Let's fucking ball out now. You know, there's no arguments on the sidelines anymore. Nothing. I will give the Bengals some credit, though. They have fought in games, particularly the offense. Zach Taylor's group has found ways to hang around. You know, you look at the games. I mean, hung in that game against the Ravens, hung in that game against the Seahawks. You know, they've hung around. I just don't know that this is a great matchup for them. This is a physical team. The Jags are going to punch in the mouth. Leonard's going to have a big game here. As long as Minshew doesn't make mistakes, I would be comfortable laying it. Is it the best player on the board? No. Is it going to be on my board? No, probably not. But I think the Bengals continue to have trouble. They just aren't very good fundamentally. They're not physical. They lose the battle in the trenches. They can't tackle. You know, they have a young coach. There's just not a lot to like about Cincinnati. I don't know what else to say. Be Smooth, thank you for watching. Allison, thanks for watching. Fred Flintstone, how you doing? Jesus Christ. I don't know how to block this crap. You know, these fucking bots, man. I got to get on this. I got to get on the moderators. We need a moderator in this channel just to, you know, prevent the hijinks and the disgusting language sometimes you see on here. But we'll get that guy hid there. My apologies. You know, unfortunately, you can't prevent. You know, it's funny. We have a certain person in this chat, and all of a sudden we have crazy stuff happening. So we're going to get rid of some of those people. Thanks for coming. Thanks for playing. See you later. Jay Patel, you were the moderator, but I can't ever. You're usually in here, but I don't ever know that you're going to be in here. Listen, somebody, I'll have to pick a moderator. We'll get a moderator here. Make sure we have someone that you know is going to be here every show, and they can handle some of the crap that we're going to get in here. Usually, haven't had much trouble. You know, again, why would we? I mean, all we're doing is giving out free sports betting information. But again, you're going to have those people. Let's get back to the games here. So yeah, in this game, it's a tough one. I could, you know, the Bengals have fought, but I'll lean Jacksonville here to get the job done. All right, let's keep moving here. LA Rams, Atlanta Falcons. Look, I've told people time and time again that I don't really have any issue taking overs until, you know, further notice with the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, they're just a great over team. I mean, they're terrible defensively. Their offense is really good, and all they do is throw. They don't run the ball at all. And they have a quarterback that has been really good. They're going to face a defense. I know they could Jalen Ramsey, but again, they're still without Aqib Talib. John Johnson, their safety, he's out. This is going to be an offense in the Falcons that will move the ball. I mean, we just know they will. And the Rams, we know they'll play in a shootout as well. I think the great thing about the LA Rams is they will oblige you in a shootout. These two teams are 1-2 in the league in passing attempts per game. They love to throw it. And you have a defense, one in particular, that is incredibly poor. Both these groups in the red zone have been very good at scoring touchdowns, both top 9 in the NFL in touchdown percentage in the red zone. You don't overcomplicate these situations. You have two gunslingers. You have two guys that are going to go back and forth. I think defense is thrown out of the window. I'm going over the total here. It's just that simple. I'm not going to try to overcomplicate this situation here. I'm going over. Jared Goff could have a big game today. This could be one of those swan song games where he comes out, even though he struggled at times. I think he comes out here, uses his weapons. You got Cooper Kupp, you got Brandon Cooks, you got Robert Woods. Please throw to Robert Woods. I need a big game from him. What happened to the Rams pass rush? It's a great point. Totally right on that. It's kind of disappeared. Thanks for the help. Great college knowledge. Thank you, Marco. Very kind of you. Plenty of people in here. Thanks for checking out the show. Keep in mind, I only have about 3,900 subscribers. It's not easy to build a channel. I'm trying to do that. I can't do it without any of you. It's all about retention. And listen, I'm battling against other shows. I'm battling against ESPN. I'm battling against bigger channels. I'm battling against YouTubes with much more subscribers than me. It's all about info, though, and that's what matters here. We're not going to beat around the bush. We're not going to play games. We're not going to say, "Oh, you're on this show." Oh, no, you're not. We're going to put someone else on. You just got to do what you got to do. Let's keep it moving here. Liverpool is down a goal, which isn't surprising. If you looked at this line, United made a lot of sense. This line plummeted. Somebody knew something here. Liverpool has not played well. It's not surprising to me. United doing their thing. Not surprising. All right. Let's keep it going. One of the final 1 o'clock games, Niners and Redskins. Listen, the Niners are better at everything than the Redskins. The Redskins can't throw the ball. They can't run the ball. They suck defensively, particularly against the run. The Niners are in a good spot. This is tough, though. It's tough to lay double digits. It's tough to go on the road. It's tough to go from west to east. But you have a dynamic play caller. You have a really good defense. And you have a quarterback that hasn't had to do a ton. He's just had to not turn the ball over. I think we all know the Niners are legitimate. Washington is a team that is floundering in very little success right now. They're hard to watch. Do I run to lay 10 on the road? Not really. I mean, the Redskins are going to quit, and the Niners should win comfortably in this game. I think there are better spots on the board. I don't have a ton on this game. I just don't really love the spot. The Niners are kind of riding high. The question is, do you believe in the Niners? Or do you think, again, they have more to prove? The thing is, though, in these spots with these Titans in the NFL against bad teams, these teams, these dogs have been getting beat up. So, the number's not bad. I'll tell you this. I don't love teasers. In fact, I don't play teasers really at all. But I don't hate this one in a teaser. You're getting it down under that touchdown mark on the road. But again, at any rate, it's not ideal, but I could see this game 27-13 pretty easily. So yeah, I take that for what it's worth. Niners should have any trouble. Should be able to run all over a bad defense. Thank you, Rob Tess. Thank you, William, Adam, Paul, Mac. No Salah for Liverpool. I'm aware. People always contact me. Hey, know this, know that. I know. I watch I know all that stuff. I know who's like. I put up Boise last night. Some guy hits me up and goes, "Hey, Buckmeyer's not playing." Yeah, thanks, dude. I know. I'm aware that Buckmeyer's not playing. It was really for me a play against Baylor Romney, who I didn't believe in. He had a good game, is what it is. So yeah, I know, guys. I know who's not playing. But hey, thank you, Leo. Appreciate it. All right, let's go to the 4 o'clock games. This game is going to be a play that I recommend on the show. It's probably going to be the play of the day here on the show. I have 3 plays today that I've sent out that I'm on. I like the Titans, though, in this game against the Chargers, and I'm looking to get on it before the Vultures come in and bet this up to 3. The writing's on the wall for this game. People are going to back the Titans, okay? We saw L.A. last week. Offensive line's trash. Phillip Rivers starting to look old. Look, the Titans are real defensively. They have a great defense. They're at home. And I got to tell you, I think Tannehill's probably a better shout than Marcus Mariota, to be real honest with you. This Titans team is 5th in the league in points per game allowed. They haven't allowed more than 20 points yet this year. They're getting to the quarterback. Cameron Wake could be back for this game. They have good secondary. I really like the Titans. I like them a lot. And I think this infusion of Tannehill is going to do some good things today for them. I don't love the Chargers defense. And I got to tell you, this Chargers offensive line could be the worst in the NFL. They are really poor. Really poor. Can't keep Phillip Rivers upright. I mean, it was ugly to watch at times last week against Pittsburgh. And you're going to get a furious pass rush again today from this Titan team. Look for A.J. Brown maybe to show out a little bit today. Corey Davis, somebody like that. Tannehill stinks as well. I'm not saying he doesn't, but he's a better option than Mariota. He can throw the ball down the field. He's got better arm strength. I like the kid a lot. I think he, is he Tom Brady? No. Is he Deshaun Watson? No. But I think he's a better situation to succeed than Mariota. So I'm looking towards Tennessee in this game. Chargers struggling in the red zone, really struggling to run the ball. I mean, this is just a rough season for the Chargers. Throwing on the fact that they seem to have no interest in special teams. I mean, they never have a kicker. I mean, the kicker's out every fucking week. I like the Titans in this game. Baltimore, Seattle. Again, I don't buy Seattle. I know they're playing well and they've been great and all, but I really just haven't been that impressed with them. Last week was impressive. I mean, going on the road and doing what they did there, coming back and being down, but I just don't really like Seattle. I don't believe in and buy their record so far. I don't really think much of what they've done. The Rams is a good win, and that win last week was good. But I think we all know that the Browns have major deficiency issues, and they could have won the game. Baltimore coming in here 4-2. It's a huge game for them. They need to keep winning. They have a cornerback now. Marcus Peters is going to help considerably. This team was struggling with some of the injuries. They've had Jimmy Smith and guys like that. They needed a corner to fill a big need, and he can do that. He's got good route jumping skills. He's a good ball hawk. He can create turnovers. He could play cover 3. He could play press. He's a good corner. They need him badly in this secondary. Earl Thomas knows the Seahawks team pretty well. We know the Ravens offense is good. They can move the ball. Seattle, not good against the run. They're allowing almost 4.8 yards a carry. I think they struggle in this game. I get they're really good at home. I think Russell Wilson's like 46-12 in his career at home. I mean, he's good at home. I'm not going to say he's not. But I think there's some real good things to look at here with Baltimore in this game. That offensive line worries me for the Seahawks. The ability of them to not have very many playmakers worries me. I know they have the best player on the field, but that kid across the sideline on the other team is pretty good as well. You might get Marquise Brown back today. Mark Andrews has played well for the tight end spot. They have a great offensive line. I mean, you can argue that the Ravens have a top 4 or 5 offensive line in the NFL. This is a trench battle that I got to tell you, I think Baltimore will win with flying colors. I think they will really play well in the trenches today against Seattle. Seattle's offensive line stinks. That defensive line for Baltimore should have some success. And I think Seattle's defensive line's good, but I don't think it's great. I think that offensive line will kind of overpower them. I think they'll be able to run the ball successfully. They might get Brown back. I don't know if they will, but if they do, it's just a plus. And I like getting Peters. That was a good move by them. They needed a corner. And listen, this is why you like Baltimore. This is why you like Ozzie Newsome. You like that front office because they go out and address needs. And that fucking team in Philadelphia should take a fucking page out of Baltimore's book. They always go out and address needs. Not things that we don't want to give up draft picks. And you know what's good about the Baltimore Ravens? They have drafted well as well. If I'm a Ravens fan, I am over the moon at this ability of that group to draft. They've done a great job. And they go out and fill needs. It's impressive. Now you got a corner all of a sudden, which is great. So for me, I'm going to take the underdog here and go with the and I'm going to go with the Ravens here, which is definitely tough. You never like betting against a team out in Seattle against Seattle, but I'm going to rock with it. Saints and Bears. This could be a tough game to watch. A lot of playmakers out here. Breeze still out. Kamara not going to play today. Bridgewater will obviously be in there, but it's going to be tough. You're not going to have Kamara out of the backfield. And you're playing against a really good defense that could really spice it up here. This Bears defense is tough, and they are going to play tough. This is going to be a tough angle for Bridgewater. It's a road game against that defense. I don't think they're going to have a ton of success. And look, the Saints, can Chase Daniel beat you? I don't know if he can. And again, I think you're going to get Trubisky back today as far as I know. Again, I couldn't really care less if Trubisky plays. I don't know if it's much advantage of him over Daniel. So I guess you're asking yourself, what team is more likely to move the football? I don't think either are going to be able to move the ball. I know this total's low. I think it's 38. If I had to bet this, I'd bet the under. And frankly, I'd probably take the underdog. I don't believe in the Bears really at all. I don't believe in really the Saints on the road. I don't believe in the Bears in general. So I think this game is probably 1-20 likely wins. I could see 17-13, 20-17, 17-10. I think it's going to be a typical Bears game. Now, these games where the totals have been really low, they found ways to go over. But these are not two teams that go extensively quick. Gun to my head, and New Orleans has been horrific in the red zone. New Orleans is only scoring a touchdown about 44% of the time in the red zone. You're not going to have Kamara today. I think both these offenses really bogged down. I'd lean under the total in this one. And then the final game, I'm not going to really extend a ton of info out on this game. I want to see the inactives. I want to see who's in, who's out. I've said all week I think the Eagles win this game. I've had a good feel on whether they win or lose. I think to get the job done today. But there you have it for me. A couple of free plays for the show. I'm going to go Tennessee -2.5. And I'm going to also go with over 50.5 Arizona and New York. Those two go over as well. And I'll also go with Baltimore +3. So there we go. Baltimore +3, Tennessee -2.5. And I'm going to go over 50.5 Arizona and the Giants. You all have a great day. Thank you for checking out my show. This has been the Big Man on Campus's NFL Week 7 preview. Thanks to all the guys for viewing the show over the weekend, over the week. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss a show. I'll catch you next week where we get into college football Week 9, NFL Week 8. Thanks for checking out the show. See you later.